Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
So, this year's 2019. It's the 400th anniversary of Africans as slaves, so to speak, landing, being brought to America. And here where we're from, too.
Right.
Right here in Virginia. Right. So, in 2019, I say, since it's been 400 years, I don't want to hear about what the white man's doing to me no more.
No doubt.
It's got to be progressive. We need something new. We already know that story. We done heard that story plenty of times.
Right.
Now, I want to talk about how can we move forward, mainly financially.
Right.
Because I see it as being the number one cause to, that's a common problem issue for us as a person, as a people. You know what I mean? Person to person as a people. So, what is one way that we can start becoming better financially aware, or when people talk about black folks coming together, like say with the Colin Kaepernick thing, there's never a plan.
Right.
And black folks talk about we gotta stick together, we gotta be together. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are we gonna come together and do, man?
Right. Yeah, it gets me upset too to hear everybody venting and not having no real plan about what it is that's going to make a difference, right? And the bottom line is, like, we always getting angry about things that happen to us or whatever. But if we have money, guess what? Don't happen to us, right? Like lots of these things. You know what I mean? The fact is that we are treated the way that we're treated because we have allowed this treatment to take place to us. And we can get into all of it. You can be mad about whatever, right? You can talk about, Kanye, talk about slavery as a choice, whatever it is that you want to be upset about. That's fine, right? Like, bottom line is, if we weren't financially defeated, essentially, we wouldn't have half of the problems that we have, right? All of the problems with the black community stem from poverty. We talk about crime, we talk about drugs, we talk about single family homes. All of these things are symptoms of poverty. These things don't cause brokenness, they just perpetuate it. And we've been relegated to this position of poverty for 400 years. We've been here since 1619. We came here as the servants. We came here as the slaves. We came here as the stock. And so if we don't understand that by now it's time for us to start taking advantage of the system that's in place, the same system that made us stock, then we are choosing to allow these same things to happen to us. And then we're going to want to march, and we're going to want to protest, and we're going to want to ban companies, and this, that, and the third. Instead of banning companies, we should be taking them over, right? Like, why are we not talking like this, right? And
I mean, because you sound crazy right now. Like, how the hell is a nigga that gotta get up tomorrow morning? He can't even finish watching this video. He gonna fall asleep in the middle of this video because he gotta get up tomorrow morning and be on the bus so he can get to the shipyard. How the hell is he talking about taking over a company?
Right. Okay.
And he can't even quit his goddamn job.
Right. And I do sound crazy, right? Because when it comes to talking money, right, nobody want to talk about this side. Everybody want to talk about getting to the bag, right? You talking about getting a paycheck. You want to talk about how much this you got, how much shoes, how much cars, how much clothes, whatever, right? Like, you talk about being a consumer. And so when I talk about buying businesses, when I'm talking about taking over businesses, it's extremely doable. It's not difficult to do. They're called hostile takeovers. They take place every day. They take place all the time. Corporate raiders come in and buy companies. They buy up the shares of the companies, and then by default, because they own the majority of the shares, they own the company. They make the decisions for the company. And so if we was to move in that manner, right, yeah, we don't need a corporate raider though, right? Like, we don't need to have somebody who's got a net worth of $1 billion to do it. They talk about we got umpteen $1 trillion worth of buying power. We spend this type of money. If we pooled this money, now we're a corporate raider, and we're doing hostile takeovers. It's doable. It's extremely doable. Where do we start? Right there, right on your couch. Pick up the phone, call your mans, tell them, yo, let's start an investment group. Let's put this money together. Let's go buy companies, right? And then We doing this all over the country. We all forming our little investment groups. Now we start a network of investment groups. And we all make the same investment decisions. So we pooling our money and we see XYZ company. We go buy 50% of the shares of XYZ company, 51%, and now we own XYZ company. It's that simple. It's not difficult, right? But we don't talk about it, right? We'll go buy, you know, them Jordans if they 50% off. We'll buy them Jordans when they 50% marked up.
Right.
But we ain't trying to buy 50% of no companies. Come on, man. Yeah, we talking crazy out here. And we follow all these people, right, who want to start schools or funds or whatever it is, right? When, you know, these joints, that's they lick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's they hustle. That's they come up. We not benefiting the black community. We benefiting that black man. Like, I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? We can start these investment groups. I have an investment company. I put it together strictly to do this. I'm charging 1.5% max. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking for nothing. I'm asking for 1.5 pennies of your dollars when you do it. And I don't even do that when we get to certain volumes. It goes lower. So, you know, I put it together strictly so we can start this process, right? It's called hustle wealth, right? So we're going to do hustle takeovers. It ain't got to be hustle at all. We just hustling. You know, we're going to pull this money together. We're going to take over. It's not difficult to do, people, right? Like, you either with it or you ain't. You want to talk about it, right? You want to argue about it. You want to march. You want to protest. You can do all that, man. You can go to Walgreens and buy, you know what I'm saying, this sign for $5. You know, go to Home Depot and buy your post for $10, right? You go to the Walmart and buy your markers for $5, right? You didn't spend $20 at all of these large corporations to build your poster to go protest against these large corporations.
Right.
You know, you can spend this money with them if you want, right? And get mad and march in the streets and stop traffic, you know what I'm saying? Call out to work, whatever, right? You can do all that stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know how that's going to change the situation for your kids. I don't know how it's going to change the situation for my kids. Only thing that's going to change the situation for our kids is if we start the path to generational wealth. We done been on this path of generational poverty for 400 years. It started right here in Virginia, right? That's where we at, you know. 400 years later, let's get this generational wealth going, man.
So, how does it actually start?
So,
how does it start today? How does it start? How can me and my mans? How can me and my girl? How can my mans and his girl and me and my girl and his mans and his girl? How can we get this started today?
Well, what I'll do is I'll put together a package, right? The package will have everything that you need in it to start an investment group, right? Legally, right? You legally form the investment group. It'll have the details on how to operate it, right? It'll have your operating agreement. It'll have all of that in it. You get with your peoples, right? You pull these funds together. You open up the investment account. I give you the website for that too. You can hold it in cash there. You ain't got to put it into no stocks, no bonds, no nothing. You can just open it up and put the cash there. And then whenever y'all decide to make an investment, make the investment. You buy whatever you want. The investment, and the whole gamut of stocks and bonds is open to you. And that's if you want to buy stocks and bonds. If you just want to hold it in cash while y'all talk about which business of between you and your peers y'all want to start first and invest it in something safe like U.S. securities and own, you know, a little bit of percentage while sitting there in cash, you can do that too. And you know, but bottom line is you want to set it up the right way, right? You want to start the legal formation of this group the right way. You want to avoid being looked at by SEC regulators. You don't want to be an investment company. You want to be an investment group. You want to be an investment club, right? Everybody's got to make decisions. Everybody's got to talk. You can't have one guy, oh, I know all the answers. That's why I'm sitting up here telling you, hey, you know, let's all go buy whatever stock. I'm not going to make that choice for y'all. I'm not going to make that decision for y'all. I'm not even going to recommend it. What I'm telling you is how to do it, right? And it don't matter what stock we buy. Because if we all buy the same stock, right, we go buy, you know, whatever shoe company, then we're going to go buy whatever shoes. And we're going to tell everybody else to go buy these same shoes. And as soon as we go buy that shoes, that money's going to come right back into our pocket when we own the company, right? You know, and I'm not, again, you know, I'm not frowning upon entrepreneurship. I'm a fan of entrepreneurship. But what I'm saying is that, you know, you don't got to be an entrepreneur to be a business owner. And everybody needs to be a business owner. We all need to be business owners. This is America. You know, so we can start this business tomorrow. You know, we can get this done. So by the end of 2019, we can have amassed a large pool of money. And then we buy something going into 2020, we change everybody's life. Just like that. There's nothing. Let's do it.
No doubt. Alright, so, damn, I had another question. I think I asked you a question I had wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Could have lost it. But no, keep on kicking the shit. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I just wanted everybody to understand, like, you know, the importance of us doing this as a group. If you chasing this bag by yourself, you just that, by yourself, right? Like, you know, if you have a team and your whole team ain't eating, you know, what kind of team is that, right? If you have a group of friends and you the only one getting money and the rest of your friends ain't getting money, what type of team is that? Who's going to help you when shit hit the fan, right? When if something goes south, who's going to help you if you don't have people around you that also have money? So like I'm with it, right? I'm with everybody, you know, I love the phrase, man. I'm with everybody getting to the bag, whatever it is, man. I'm with this idea of getting money, right? But we got to lose this idea of individualism because it's not going to work for us. It hasn't worked for anybody ever. You know, anybody that looks like an individual, trust me, they got a team. They got a squad behind them that's supporting them. And they might look like the individual, but everybody's eating. Nobody's doing anything out there by themselves.
So now, the older generation is fading out, and we are yesterday's young folks and today's old heads. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
to speak.
Right.
Like we were talking about with the kids and how we're our parents now.
Right.
And so what is something that we could be doing right now with our money that we change the bad money habits over from the last generation? What are some good money practices? What are some good things for us to start doing and practicing on a daily basis with our money?
Sure. You know, I would, of course, stress the importance of saving and investing, right? Like getting in the habit of not being a consumer, but being an investor, right? And nothing is wrong with being a consumer. The bottom line is we're all going to have to consume anyway. But what we have to start for ourselves is a positive cash flow, right? In America, it's encouraged to have a negative cash flow. In America, you're encouraged to go into debt before you even make any money. You know, we do it with every 18-year-old that we say, hey, go out there in the world and go learn something, right? But to go learn something, they got to go into debt, right? And so then they in the student loan hole, right? Then we tell them, hey, go out there and get a job to pay for your student loan, right? But they got to get to work. So then they go get into a car loan. And so now they got the student loan and the car loan. And, you know, they making enough money and they paying the student loan, they paying the car loan. And then they tell them, hey, man, you got to buy a house. So then you go get the 30-year house loan. And so never at any point did you ever forward pay any of this stuff. Never at any point were you positively enabled to make a deposit into these things. You always had to pull out of these things and then make payments back into them. And that's been the debt cycle that, you know, most Americans are stuck on. And what we need to do is reverse that and create an equity cycle so that when you own income producing assets, right, businesses, stocks, bonds, whatever it is that produces and generates more income for you, that income should be able to fuel your consumerism. And so not only should it be able to fuel your consumerism, but it also should be able to go back into creating and generating more income. And so that's only doable with a positive cash flow. So if you want to start a habit today that's going to help you generate a positive cash flow, first thing is look at your spending, right? You don't have to create a budget or whatever like that, right? You don't have to take a Excel spreadsheet and do it. If you like that and do it, then do it, right? Like, I mean, it's eye-opening. But, I mean, if you got a debit card, then you got an online transaction history of where you spending your money at. And so, if you just go to your bank statement and go down the list and see where you spending money at, and then just simply look at how you can eliminate some of those facets of spending money. Because if you ain't spending it on, you know, your essentials, right? Your living, your transportation, your education, these same things that we've already talked about. If you're not spending it on these essentials and it's going out of the flow of, oh man, I'm hungry, man. Oh man, I'm thirsty, man. Oh man, I don't like this shirt no more. Oh man, we going to the club. Oh man, you know, we're going to do all this stuff. Like, you know, if you're in that cycle, then you're probably also on the debt cycle. And you're allowing these investable dollars to fly out the window to other people who've invested their dollars. You know what I'm saying? Somebody owns this bar that you done bought a shirt to go to. Somebody owns the store that you bought the shirt from to go to the bar. You know, somebody owns the liquor company. Like, these people who own these things have invested in their dollars into these places to take yours. So, first things first is see where you spend your money. Start right there. Start right there. And then you can see how you can save $25, $100 a month from not stopping at 7-Eleven every day after work. From saying, hey, let's go get a bottle and go to my crib instead of going to the bar. You know, half of y'all ain't, you know, gonna leave with, you know, nothing positive no way from the bar. So don't even waste your time. Call your boys, you know what I'm saying, get the bottle, let's go to the crib, kick it, play the game, you know what I'm saying, whatever, right? Don't even waste the time, you already know. I was just messing around, but for real, you know, don't waste the money or the time. And when y'all got the bottle at the crib, y'all playing the game, kick it to them. Yo, man, let's start this investment group. Here's how we gonna do it. I just got this package. It's got our operating agreement in it. It's got our partnership agreement in it. It's got how we gonna set it up in it. And we can just run it, yo. Like, instead of spending that, you know, $40 at the bar, we can spend $40 a week together and put this joint away and put this joint away. Then you say you want to start this car wash business. Let's do it. Let's do it together. You know, like that's how we can start. And you know, I'm making it sound easy. You know, I know that there's more to it, of course, right? And you know that there's more to it, right? It's the devil's in the details, right? And I'm gonna help everybody keep their nose clean. But it ain't rocket science. You know what I'm saying? This ain't brain surgery. It's investing. It's not even multiplication. You know what I'm saying? This is addition and subtraction type of mathematics.
So let me ask you a question. Would you say that economic slavery is a real thing?
Absolutely.
How did a people like, say, like the European Jews who were like exiled and shit just less than 100 years ago,
sure, how
did they make the flip to come into new lands and all of this stuff to being known as the financial powerhouses that they are today?
That's a funny story.
And ADL don't sue us.
Huh?
You know, tell the ADL don't come looking for us or nothing.
Yeah, I don't want no problems, right? But I mean, it's not even like this is recorded history. I'm not gonna say nothing that's secretive or anything like that. This ain't clandestine stuff.
Real. I'm just talking shit.
Nah, I know. I just have to. But you know what I'm saying is like it's funny because the reason that in Europe the Jews were the financial go-tos was because of the financial laws, right? The laws of the time were based upon the Bible. And the Bible, you know, said, and it's funny, right? Because the Jews follow the Bible, the Christians follow the Bible, Muslims follow the Bible, all of them follow the Bible. And the Bible says that you should not lend with interest to your brother, right? But Jews only consider Jews brothers, and Christians only consider Christians brothers, and Muslims only consider Muslims brothers. So they could lend with interest to others who are not their brothers. That was fair, right? So what the European popes, kings, lords, right? The leaders of, the various European institutions and governments, they use the Jews to be able to raise their money, right? They treated the Jews well, and, of course, they always got a kickback from the interest and things that the Jews were charging their constituents. And then, when a bubble pop, right, or the economy falls or whatever, then they use these Jews, these money lenders, and they hold them up as the blame. You know what I'm saying? So they basically set them up to do it and then held them off as a scapegoats anytime anything went wrong. And so in Europe, they just were confined to that area. But, it didn't take long for anybody who was around, and it didn't have to be the Jews. The Medicis realized the same thing, right? The Babylonians realized the same thing thousands of years before the Jews and the Medicis was even thought of. They knew that if you control the bank, right? If you have the bank, if I'm the place where everybody's bringing their money to deposit and also the place where everybody's coming to borrow, I can kind of just make up whatever I want to make up when it comes to lending out money. You don't know how much money I got on deposit because everybody's secretive. Nobody's going to go around telling everybody, hey, I just deposited 2 gold bars with old boy over there. It's the time before ID and all sorts of stuff, right? You're not going to go around just talking about what it is that you did. So they hold everybody's money and they simply write notes to anybody that they want to lend money to. And then they charge them interest, of course. And as long as they're paying you a little bit of interest because I'm holding your money, they keep, that spread. And that's what banks call it today. They call it the spread between what it is that they borrow money from the government from and loan it out to us consumers. That's where they make their money in the spread. And that's always been the case with banking. So now we call that process fractional reserve banking. And so the government will lend the bank $10 and then the bank will act like it got 100 and lend 10 people $10 because don't nobody know how much the bank got, and that's been processed and everybody holds it up. So literally they're creating money out of thin air. And like, if you ain't a bank, then you can't make money. You can't just create it. Other than that, you got to go figure out how to earn it. You got to go find an income producing asset, or you got to go get your job. One or the other. And, your job is based on you. Your job is based on you getting up out your bed, whether you sick, whether it's cold, whether it's raining. Your income producing assets is based on that piece of paper that say that you own it. And as long as you own it and it's producing income, that's coming back in your door. Whether you sleep, sick, it's cold, it's raining, whatever. So, if you ask me, if you really want to get money, you're going to have to get some income producing assets. And, we talk a little bit about the history of money. One of my favorite parts about the history of money that people don't really think about or even know oftentimes is that this whole free market capitalism that America touts and has been, leaning upon, and the entire government and democratic system and financial system was based upon, right? This guy named Adam Smith wrote a bunch of good stuff in economics, and he was considered the father of modern economics, right? And he talked about this invisible hand that we still hold to this day of why the government can't really interfere in the markets and, set prices and things like that. Funny thing is, Adam Smith got that from the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet Muhammad was quoted as saying that prices are set by God. Prices are set by Allah. Meaning that it wasn't the caliphate's position to interfere into the marketplace. The beauty of the early Muslims, right? Muhammad himself was a trader. He was a salesman.
A merchant.
He was a merchant. And he became the leader of a religion. So how you think he gonna bring money into that religion? Right? Like, yeah, man, let's keep the Bible rules. We're not gonna charge usury to each other, brothers and things like that. But what we are gonna do is pool money. Right? If you was a merchant like Muhammad, you traveled. You were an adventurer. You had to fight to keep your things from thieves. You had to stay warm. You had to travel. You had to do all sorts of things to be able to make trades to earn money. And he was an adventurer. So that Muslim mentality, that early Muslim mentality of Islam was that we're all in it together, right? It's not fair for me to put up some money and then tell you, hey, go try and see if it work out. But either way, I need you to pay me that money back, you know? And I need you to start doing that every month for the next 5 years. You know, the mentality that the merchants, these Arab merchants brought with Islam is that we're all in it together, right? So, you know, we attribute the first stock company to the Dutch Indian company or whatever that brought the slaves, whatever, right? The people that came in 1607 to Virginia.
Right.
I remember too much about history. But either way, we attributed them as being the first, like, stock corporation. But that's not true. That's the first European stock corporation.
Right.
The Arabs have been doing it for thousands of years prior to, you know, these conquistadors going and, you know, coming to the Americas and things of that nature. So, like, this idea of community capitalism is not new. It's not new. We've been just blinded. You know, we haven't been taught that. We haven't been taught that history. We've been taught consumerism and debt cycle. You got to go into debt, right? So it's okay. We think it's okay. We think it's okay for somebody to say, nah, bruh, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm going to get a little bit of bread for it, and I need you to start paying me back tomorrow. Regardless of whether or not you're successful. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to help you.
That's real shit.
You know what I'm saying? But I need that bread back. Plus something. You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool. It's not cool, right? But, you know, we do it to each other, right? Like, you know, y'all all seen Good Times. Ooh, Sweet Daddy. I came over to the loan shark name, right?
Exactly.
But you need some bread in the patch, he got you. But that joint go come with some interest, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay up after, you know, in the mall. Like, I need that bread soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show up at your house with the goons.
Yeah.
So, like, that's weird, though, right? Like, if you really, really think about it, that's not cool, bro. Like, if we're all eating together, you know what I'm saying? We all working together. We all working towards a common goal. You know what I mean? Instead of, because the very second that you sign your name on the dotted line, shake somebody's hand, and go into debt with that person, what you really just did to yourself was relegated yourself in position with that person. You became subservient to that person. Just like that. The entire idea is that two equals are coming to form a contract that they both agree upon. But as soon as that contract is formed, you're no longer equal. And that's what debt does, right? But if we're all pooling our assets together and we start an investment group and we all agree we all gonna put in $100 in one and everybody got one vote, the equality stays the same. And the tide rises everybody's ship as we all getting money. And so there's not this triangle, this pyramid that all corporations essentially are at this point, right? Like that is the backbone of the American economy is the pyramid. They get mad with pyramid schemes, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't take from the bottom and get it to the top directly. You know what I mean? But if you funneling around a little bit, you know, move it, it is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's crazy. Like I literally went to one of them you know, like people be selling products and you know, make you feel good products or whatever like that. But like you gotta buy it directly from me, and then like I'd rather you sell something for me than you know what I'm saying, you keep buying from me. I went to one of those meetings, I got roped into this joint, right? Like on some humbug, like crazy, right? Dude asked me, he's like, yo, you know, I'm thinking about making this investment, and you know, I want you to take a look at it, tell me if it's a good investment, right? So, you know, he tell me meet him, you know, at this hotel, right? Which is like, okay, fish you off the rep, right? Not going to your room or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But we meet in the lobby. I don't understand why you're at the hotel. I don't ask a lot of questions. We meet in the lobby, you know, we kick it for a second. Yeah, look, let's go back here for a second. You know, the people back there with the information. Or, man, I get in this joke. They got the products up, you know what I'm saying? They got the PowerPoint joint up. Like, you know, they rah-rah shit spoon buying that joint. I was like, man, this dude has set me up, right? So I'm listening to the joint and I'm hot, right? I'm hot. I'm listening to the joint. So I'm taking notes. Because you want to know if it's a good investment, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how terrible this is. You know what I'm saying? You got to buy the product in order to even think about making money. Man, come on, man. It's the same premise. You going into debt before you can make $1. And then you subservient to these other people. You know, it's not rocket science, but it ain't a pyramid scheme because you got to buy products. You know what I'm saying? You can't just recruit people. So legally, is able to be done. But it's disgusting. And y'all all out there on Facebook trying to sign me up. Every time I post a video, you want to hit my inbox, ask me, do I want to sell something for you? Man, you selling it for somebody else. Come on, man. I ain't with none of that, man. I ain't with none of that. Y'all, it's the same mentality of the debt cycle. This subservience, this pyramid. I ain't with none of that. I'm about equality, right? I'm about this 360. You know what I'm saying? We got to think different. 2019, think different. Be different. Don't just keep on throwing money out the window and don't keep working for somebody else. Work for yourself.
Before we go, tell them one good time, how do we start to pick them locks to financial slavery? How do we start? How do we set it off so this generation can be the Amistad of financial slavery? We want to be the Nat Turner, the Haiti of fucking financial slavery.
Gosh,
we want to set it the fuck off.
Great analogies. Great analogies. If we're going to break the chains in 2019, it's going to be collectively. It's going to be in groups. It's going to be through pooled resources and pooled assets. You understand what I'm saying? We're not waiting on no laws to change. We got great laws in place. We're not waiting on no handouts from no nonprofits. We don't need no grants. We don't need no loans. We don't need none of that. I need you to stop eating McDonald's. Say that bread. I need you to stop going to 7-Eleven. Say that bread. I need you to call your homeboy. Tell him this is what we doing this year. Right? You got that business we want to start. We're going to raise money for that business. And we all going to own that business. We all going to work towards making that business successful. None of y'all want to start a business. Y'all just want to get rich. Fine. We're going to pool this money. We're going to buy these stocks. We're going to buy this property. We're going to do it together. And then when we doing that, right, I got the network. I'm setting up the network, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Because see, y'all ladies, y'all listen better than gentlemen. So I should have been talking to y'all the whole time. My bad. I apologize. Y'all about it for real anyway. They ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get with it until y'all with it, ladies. For real. So I'm
That's
sorry.
The truth.
I'm sorry.
That's the truth.
I should have been addressing y'all from the beginning.
I
should have been addressing y'all from the beginning. So man, please, for the sake of your kids, right? Call your lady friends. Call your mother. Call your sisters. Call your aunties. Call your nieces. Right? Tell them it's sincere this year, and y'all are going to change things for y'all kids, for their future, right? And this is just the stepping stone. This is square one, right? I mean, this is going to get us on the path to generational wealth, right? I ain't even talked to y'all about. I ain't even gonna go there. Now I'm gonna just mention it, right? Like we need trust, right? We need to have wealth planning in our communities. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll get there, right? But we got to take this first step. We got to get our money together. It ain't enough to buy black. It ain't enough to invest black. We got to invest together. That's the key. 2019. If we ain't going to invest together, man, stay off my timelines with all y'all complaints. Straight up.